Hi mate.
Hello. You alright?
You alright? You excited for this consultation?
Yeah, very excited, thank you.
Yeah. I'm sure you benefit a lot from this. 100%.
I'm sure.
And it's obviously a legal requirement to do obviously before we start your programme. It's a chance to discuss a lot of things, like your goals, your motivations, your barriers. So we can develop some kind of I can develop a rapport with you and develop more of an understanding of you as an individual.
Yeah.
So we can work from there. So first of all, I want to start. What is your name? Your full name?
Callum Godley.
Perfect. And what is your date of birth, Callum?
The 15th of June 1999.
Male or female?
Male.
I've got to ask. I've got to ask. Do you know your height at all in centimetres or metres?
180. Dead on.
180. Centimetres, that would be 1.8 metres. Nice and easy. Do you know your weight at all in kilograms?
82.4.
82.4. Was that in the morning and fasted?
It was, yeah.
Of course, the reason being is because your weight can fluctuate throughout the day from eating food, drinking fluids like water. When it's in the morning, before you're eating, before you've drank any fluid, it's a more realistic and valid measurement of your body weight before anything's digested. So, first of all, the reason why I've asked that, Callum, is because I need to work out your BMI, which is called body mass index. And basically, I use your weight and height to determine this overall score, which is a quick and easy method to measure adiposity, which is basically fat or obesity, to see where you are on the scale. So what I want to be doing is first is your weight, which is 82.4 in the morning. 1 second. 82.4. And then I divide that by your height, which was in metres 1.8, and then square root that number, and I'll get a total score of 25.4. Now that's a great score, Callum. You're literally in the middle, like literally couldn't be any more in the middle. It crosses over as overweight, but it's the lowest number. Like overweight's anything between 25 and 29.9, and normal is anything between 18.5 and 24.9. So because you're 25.4, you couldn't be any more in the middle, not any more like, normal.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. I've got to do another physical assessment. Would you be alright for me? Would it be comfortable for me to measure your waist?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and the reason why, well, for you, it's quite clear that, you're going to have, you're going to be a low risk client since your BMI is an average score. Just hold that there, Colin. Sorry, one sec. There we go, we're going to measure this in centimetres. Thank you. So that is 90. So yeah, again, another great score. That is as expected due to your average BMI.
Yeah.
So you can sit down, mate. So the reason why we measure that is because if someone's got a high BMI, it could be two reasons. It can either be because of adiposity, because you're overweight, out of shape, or because you got high muscle mass, because it's only taking into consideration your height and weight.
Yeah.
Because you had a normal BMI anyway, I expected you to have, quite a low waist circumference. So anything, for a male, anything below 94 centimetres, you classed as low risk.
Okay, yeah.
From cardiovascular disease, etc., etc. Yeah. You was 90, so that was as expected. So I'll just quickly put that in. So 90 centimetres for waist circumference, and I'll put low risk. So, despite having a healthy weight, someone could still have a high blood pressure. For example, it could be lifestyle factors due to like smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, etc. So it doesn't really necessarily mean that you're healthy if you've got an average body weight. So next, I will measure your blood pressure. Would you be alright for me to measure your blood pressure? Have you ever used a blood pressure cuff before?
No.
No? Okay, Callum, don't worry. If you feel a slight tightness on your arm, but nothing painful at all.
No.
So what we're going to do is fit it around one of your arms.
Any arm or?
It's any arm. Any arm. Make sure you get it high up, so it's fully around your arm. I'll strap you in. There we go. Does that feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Perfect. Try not to tense your arm. It might be like a natural, you know, a response to tense your arm as you feel it tightening, but try and stay as relaxed as possible.
Yeah.
Because this can interfere with your blood pressure. It will cause your heart rate to increase, and it will make you seem like you've got a higher blood pressure than you actually have. So the more relaxed you are, the more accurate the reading will be. So stay relaxed, Callum. And we can go now. A key way to stay relaxed is just to breathe very slowly. And just, perfect. Is it comfortable? Yeah.
Yep.
Right, and then you should feel it releasing on your arm now. It's just almost there, it's just calculating the readings.
It's weird that you can hear your heartbeat in your bicep.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a strange feeling. It's a strange feeling.
Yeah.
I think we're almost there. So it should come up with two numbers, a bigger number and a smaller number. See the systolic there, the bigger number. Oh, so 149.
Mm-hmm.
So that is classed as, let's have a look on the scale. That is classed as pretty low. Yeah, so you've actually got lower blood pressure than average. The optimal is 120 to 80 and yours is 100 to 49. So if you just stay there for a Callum, I'll just record that. Perfect, now we can take this off. It wasn't too painful, was it?
No.
Perfect. So now, let's sit back here, Cal. So the bigger number represents systolic blood pressure, which is basically the pressure exerted on your arterial walls when your heart's contracting. And the smaller number is your diastolic blood pressure, which is the pressure exerted on your arterial walls when your heart's in a relaxed state. So you identify as having low blood pressure.
Okay.
Okay, so that's interesting, but that could be due to lifestyle factors, as we will elaborate further into the consultation. So first of all, Callum, obviously you come to me today because obviously you've got some barriers, some obstacles stopping you from reaching your full exercise potential or reaching your full reaching your exercise goals. So please, can you further elaborate on what barriers there are preventing you from exercising?
Yeah, well, I like to go out every weekend, you know, with mates and have a few drinks and that, and
Yeah.
probably have about 7 to 8 pints.
Also, binge drink.
Yeah.
So binge.
You know, I like just getting drunk with mates, having a good time.
Would you say it's your way of socialising with your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because obviously you're working throughout the week, and then you know the weekend you can just blow off some steam, can't you? Just.
Yeah. Okay. Any others? So there could be a perceived barrier, like you said, like lack of motivation, or like you said, a perfect example is binge drinking on the weekend. That's a perceived barrier because it's within your control. Or it could be an actual barrier, which is actually out of your control, which is physically stopping you, such as an injury. What other barriers are you facing?
I have to use public transport.
Okay.
To get there, so you know by the time I finish work it's rush hour traffic.
What public transport?
Public transport, like a bus.
A bus?
Yeah, bus.
And is this after work?
Yeah, after work.
What time roughly?
The bus comes at about 5:30.
5:30. Oh, so that is like rush hour traffic as well, so probably take even longer to get to the gym.
Yeah.
So you find that very demotivating?
Oh yeah, sitting on a lot of traffic, yeah.
Yeah, especially after a long day at work.
Yeah.
Anything else? How's your sleep?
Not always great, no.
So not always.
No, not getting full 8 hours.
Do you know the reason why? What's your caffeine intake?
Quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot of caffeine. I have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And then another one when I get to work, and then another one in the afternoon,
So what?
and then I'll have some pre-workout before my gym session.
What time would that roughly be at?
So it can be anywhere between 6:15 and 6:30.
Yeah. Well, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And that's obviously because you're training after work, so therefore you really feeling really lethargic from work. So therefore you need like an extra boost just to keep you energized.
Yeah.
For the session. So yeah, that's very inconvenient, and that obviously disrupts your sleep.
Yeah.
How much sleep are you getting then if you
It can be like 5 to 6 hours a night.
Okay. I put 5 to 6 hours per night. Sleep deprived. Do you have any temptation at all with highly processed foods?
Oh well, yeah. After like a day of eating, at the end of the day.
Every day.
Like before bed.
Yeah.
Like a
midnight snack.
A good night, snack after supper.
Yeah.
Just nice in the end of the day, after eating kind of clean.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you say that's about everything, Callum?
Yeah, that's about everything.
Yeah. Perfect. So there's something called a decisional balance, where you basically evaluate both the benefits and barriers to exercise. So first of all, we've addressed the barriers, we've got them out of the way. Now, can you please further elaborate on what motivates you to go to the gym, or what do you enjoy about exercising at all?
Well, yeah, just go there, do a session, and you feel good, don't you? Yeah.
So it makes you psychologically and physically feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
So
get a sweat on and feel good after it, doing it.
Would you say you feel good because you got more self-esteem, more confidence in yourself?
Yeah, as well. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you actually just feel more invigorated after a session as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, your body's got hormones, like endorphins and dopamine, and when you're training, it does release these hormones which make you do feel good. So that's obviously what's driving you to go to the gym. You must feel good.
Of course.
During the session, it's not like a chore.
No.
So
I enjoy it.
So you do it's like more intrinsic motivation. Like you actually enjoy the process of doing it, not just doing it for an end goal.
No, yeah.
Do you talk about end goals though? Are you also extrinsically motivated?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've got a holiday in Barcelona in 8 weeks, so.
Barcelona. Yeah. Never been, wants to go, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great, mate.
Get beach body ready.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so Barcelona in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So would you say you feel more motivated because you've got that goal in sight and you want to get in shape for that?
Especially motivated, yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So now you've mentioned to me both your motivators and your barriers. The purpose of the consultation is to negotiate with your strategies to overcome these barriers. So let's start off with, well, like you said, your holiday. Would you want to lose body fat for the holiday, get into better shape?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I still like fat around my stomach and things, so
yes,
get that off.
Yes, and when evaluating your barriers, it seems that eating highly processed foods every night before bed isn't the most convenient. If you want to get beach body ready. What you can do is you don't have to completely neglect eating your highly processed foods. What you can do is, rather than eating it at night, because what your body's doing is you're not essentially using consuming the foods for energy release, because these highly processed foods are what you call got a high glycemic load, which means that as soon as you eat it, straight away it increases blood glucose levels and blood sugar levels because it's quickly digested. And what your body's doing is, instead of releasing it for energy because you'll be sleeping at night, instead it's converting it into the sugars into fatty acids, and it's accumulating body fat, which is not what you want. It's counterproductive.
Yeah.
So what I'd advise you to do, you'd still be able to eat the foods you want to enjoy, but I'd say eat it before the gym because it's got a high glycemic load. For example, chocolate bars. What snacks do you like eating?
Like any sort of crisps, chocolate bars. Yeah.
If you eat these foods with high glycemic load before the gym, directly before, 30 minutes before, it can actually have performance enhancing effects because you're giving you more of a boost in energy release, and you're burning off the calories from the foods rather than eating it late at night and depositing it as in adipose tissue as fat. So that'd be a great barrier. Rather than cutting out the foods you enjoy, it's all about the timing of your meals. Once you do that, then you know, it's a benefit, isn't it? You're still able to eat the foods you enjoy whilst also achieving the results you want.
Yeah.
And another barrier I had was binge drinking. Now, like I said, with binge drinking, you know, even now and then I love to binge drink, but obviously it's not convenient for you to achieve your goals. So what you can, instead of sacrificing your social life, you can still go out with friends, but instead you don't need to binge drink. And because you're losing body fat, you said you drank beer. Beer is so high in calories, very high calorific beverage. I think they say that one beer is equivalent of like 2 donuts. So if you're having 8, I mean, if you do the math, 16 donuts.
When you put it like that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even known that, would you? If I didn't tell you, you know, it's important for me.
It's a liquid, isn't it? You know, I don't think it's food like a greasy burger.
Yeah,
you know,
it's important for me as a personal trainer to dispel any misconceptions someone has. So you didn't realise how bad the consequences are from binge drinking, but now I've told you like how you wasn't aware of actually how many calories are in it. Then you'd think again, you'd think, oh, I can't do that. So instead, you could have much healthy alternatives such as gin and tonic, much low calorie, and just drink less, and you can still have fun. And you might realise you might do it for 3 weekends consecutively, and you might think, oh, I can do it. You know, if I've done it already. There's something called the self-efficacy, and one of them is your own experience. If you've achieved something by yourself repetitively, you kind of come to realisation of, oh, I can do it because I've already done it 3 times. It's in fluke. I've done it 3 times. I can carry on. So yeah, definitely. And in terms of sleep deprivation as well, what you could do, I know you might. Are you a early morning riser? Probably not.
Not at the moment.
However, if you get more sleep, sufficient amount of sleep, you will be able to. So what I'd advise to you is to, instead of exercising after work with rush hour, like you mentioned with transport, you know, taking the bus at rush hour, it's very inconvenient. What you should do first when you wake up is go to the gym and start off your day exercising. What time would you start work?
9 o'clock.
Exactly, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
Yeah. So if you started at 6 o'clock, it wouldn't be convenient. But you could wake up at 6 o'clock and then you could go to the gym. And like you said, one of your motivators is the endorphin rush. You feel good, you feel energised. That'd be a perfect way of waking up is exercising before work, because you've naturally got the hormones, endorphins, dopamine firing in your body, which will keep you invigorated throughout the day. And then you can drink less caffeine and cut it out earlier on in the day because you don't have to exercise after the work. Taking pre-workout, a highly potent, substance at such a late time of the day is going to affect your sleep. You could cut caffeine out by like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you sleep like a baby, you know, at night.
Get up earlier.
Yeah, and then you get up early, and that's how the cycle goes.
It's like a cycle, yeah.
So you'd be getting more sleep, you'd be exercising before work instead of after, getting more sleep, less caffeine, less strain on your heart, and you'll feel a lot better. And sleep deprivation affects your mood, so if you've had more sleep, you're going to feel more motivated, and that's just a fact. So I'm glad that's the purpose of the consultation, for me to help you. So next we'll talk about your lifestyle, occupation and hobbies. So first of all, we spoke about your job just then. What is your job? What does it entail?
So I'm a teaching assistant in a special needs school.
So teaching assistant in special. Do you enjoy it, Callum?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah. Really rewarding.
Really rewarding helping the vulnerable.
Yeah.
I find it rewarding helping people like you, so I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I can see where you're coming from there. So teaching assistant in special school. What are your hours?
Well, it can be 9 till 5.
9 till 5.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah. They start an hour later than normal school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday. Perfect. So that's your occupation. It's good that you enjoy it as well, but it's a kind of stress-free job because obviously added stress does not help with motivation at all, and
no.
You come to me for extra motivation, haven't you? So I'm glad that's not a barrier. You actually enjoy your job. In terms of your lifestyle, Callum, kind of like what are your hobbies? What do you like doing? I know you like binge drinking. But
well,
any
before
sports?
the binge drinking, I like to I play football with my friends.
Football? How often?
Every Saturday, and if I feel like it on a Sunday, if I've not been too heavy, then yeah.
Yep, and that sounds great then. Yeah. Sounds. And obviously the gym as well. And you go to the gym. Five times a week. 5 times a week. Yeah, perfect. So, talking about the gym. So, you exercise 5 times a week. What are your preference? If you go to the gym, do you like doing exercises you enjoy, and what you're good at, or do you like setting yourselves new challenges and constantly doing new exercises you never tried before, just to keep things exciting? Or
I've been sticking to the ones that I like really.
What kind of
bench press?
Also bench press. So in terms of resistance training, what do you prefer most? Resistance machines, free weights, body weight, alternative functional equipment like kettlebells. What do you prefer doing? Circuit training.
Free weights.
So free weights.
Yeah.
So like bench press.
Yeah.
I put free weights. Do you like resistance machine as well?
Yeah. Enjoy them too.
Resistance machines. Body weight exercises. Do you like body weight?
I can do them as well. Yeah.
Body weight. Do you like high intensity interval training, or is that not really your thing?
Not really my thing. No.
Cardiovascular training.
Mild. Yeah.
What
just like incline walks and things like that.
Do you like to do running? Because obviously you play football.
Well, yeah, I do a bit of running as well. I like to keep it for the weekend.
Yeah.
But like I say, just incline walks really.
Yeah.
Bit knackered after a gym session.
Yeah. Okay, great. So obviously you spoke about your exercise preferences. What are your overarching goals then? Do you want to increase muscle mass, lose body fat? Do you want to improve your cardiovascular fitness, improve your flexibility? What do you want to do? You can say multiple things.
Yeah, the cardio, lose body fat, and increase muscle mass. I'd say.
So cardiovascular, fitness, improve muscle mass.
Yeah. Increase muscle mass. Yeah.
What about body fat?
Yeah, reduce body fat.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now we will we'll negotiate with your SMART goals. So SMART, acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then the time bound. So you've told me your goals. So let me help you. So short term could be something within 4 weeks. So you said you like bench press, for example. What is your bench press 1 rep max at the minute?
95.
95. So bench press 95. So I reckon realistically 4 weeks you could increase your bench press by 10 kg. So I'll put increased bench press. So okay, increase bench press from 95 to a very slow typer. 25 in 4 weeks. Okay, perfect. So measurable. How are we going to do this? I'll ask you to record all your lifts, and you can just send them me, and we could track the linear progress. So I put record lifts. How is this going to be achievable? By using progressive overload. You can slowly increase the intensity, whether this is more repetitions, more weight, or just even just better form. And then over time, you'll be able to gain strength and muscular hypertrophy. So realistic. This will be realistic. This won't be realistic if the frequency of your bench press once a week, it won't work. You'll have to decrease the volume but increase the frequency, and ensure there's at least 2 days, typically 2 to 3 days between the sessions for full recovery to prevent the chance of injury. So let's say 3 days in between, twice a week, yeah, and that is consistent enough and frequent enough for you to progress. Because if it was too much, you'd be overtraining, injure yourself twice per week. So that'd be enough. And then time, 4 weeks. Perfect. So now let's think medium term. This could be something which is 8 weeks. 8 weeks. What's happening in 8 weeks, Callum?
Barcelona.
Barcelona, exactly. So imagine you want to lose body fat for that. How much in body weight in kilogram do you reckon you could lose in 8 weeks?
4 kilo.
4 kilo. So I put lose for 4 kilogram in 8 weeks for Barcelona. It's important to do it gradually because you don't want to lose muscle mass.
Yeah.
So if it's 4 kilogram in 8 weeks, we're looking for about 0.5 kilogram per week. So measurable. How we'll do this, we'll measure your weight, but it's important to not measure your weight throughout the day because, like I said earlier on, if you eat any food or drink any water, it's going to interfere with the results. Therefore, do it fasted weigh-ins, and we'll also do it per week because between day and day, your weight can fluctuate massively. But if you do it per week, it's more likely going to be a linear progression of body weight. So fasted weigh-ins once per week. So achievable. So in order to lose body fat, there's something called energy balance. So calories in, energy expenditure. So you can do it in 2 ways. You can have it be in a calorie deficit in terms of consuming less calories and having the same energy expenditure. For example, eat 300 calories less and the same energy expenditure. Or you can still eat, if you love your food that much, I know you do, you could consume the same calories but increase energy expenditure so that you still be in a calorie deficit because you're burning them calories you've consumed. Later down the line, to get even leaner, you might have to do both, but it's something called the negative energy balance, which is calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Realistic. This is realistic since we can lose 0.5 kilogram per week. If I said lose 4 kilogram in 4 weeks, that you have to lose a kilogram in a week, and it's not possible to do it properly without losing muscle mass. 1.5 kilogram per week, and then time 8 weeks. Now let's address your long-term goals, Callum. You said you want to improve your cardiovascular fitness.
Yeah.
You like running, obviously with football.
Yeah.
Let's say on a treadmill. Do you know how quick you can run 5 kilometers? Have you had it recorded?
28 minutes.
So run 5 kilometers, 28 minutes. So I realistically think in 12 weeks you can cut 5 minutes off that time. That might seem a lot, however, 3 months is a lot of time. So run 5 kilometers from 28 minutes to 23. And I reckon that is achievable with consistency. Measurable, we'll get you to record your sessions again, so record progress, and we'll see if there's a, sorry, can I stretch my leg?
Yeah.
See if there's a linear progression. This week while we track progress to see if there's linear progression. If it's stagnant, and we're recording the progress we want now, and if it's stagnant, that means we'll have to manipulate your training style in order to make an improvement. That's why it's important.
Yeah.
Achievable. This will be achievable through a variety of cardiovascular training. I know you said you don't like it, but in order to improve your performance time, you will have to do some interval training.
Yeah.
I know you said you didn't particularly like it, but yet again, sometimes you can try new things, and majority of it, you get exercises you enjoy, but you will have to, in order to decrease time by 5 minutes, you have to do continuous training, which you do with football anyway, which you enjoy, but then just interval training.
Yeah.
But it might grow in you, Callum, honestly. Yeah.
You never know.
If you want to improve your cardiovascular fitness, sometimes you have to step out your comfort zone and do stuff you don't particularly enjoy. But majority of it you will enjoy. You'll end up enjoying it anyway, it'll grow in you. So this is realistic. This is realistic because you can improve. You're motivated. You can improve your performance in football. Yeah, would you like to play better at football? Yeah. Motivated to play, to enhance performance and sec in football. And then time, 12 weeks. So now we'll just do the same again just for your nutritional goals. Sorry. So, would you say you eat a lot of fruit and vegetables?
No, I probably have like 2 servings of veg a day.
2 servings a day, yeah. So that's obviously an adequate amount compared to the daily recommendations. So, let's say 4 weeks. For 4 weeks to every day, consistently, eat 5 a day. Yeah? Could be veg, could be fruit. How can we measure this? Food diary?
Yeah.
Achievable. This is achievable because, I mean, fruit and vegetables are cheap, aren't they? Would you agree?
Yeah, they're cheap.
Whereabouts do you shop?
Sainsbury's.
Well, I'd recommend for you to shop at Aldi. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially with fruit and veg, it's a lot cheaper. Yeah, so for fruit and vegetables, cheap. And then this is realistic. You can. What I do is consume 5 a day in one meal. You might think, how do you do that? First time I wake up, I get a smoothie. You know, I put like apple, satsuma, banana, kale, spinach, blueberries, you name it. Pour it in a blender, bit of water, blend it up, drink it, and the day's not even started and I've had my 5 a day.
Yeah.
So it could be convenient for smoothie. And then time we'll put for 4 weeks, okay?
Yeah.
And then just we're nearly done. So medium term now. We talked about your caffeine as a barrier.
Yeah.
Let's see if you consistently maintain, not to 5 a day, but consistently maintain for 8 weeks a caffeine limit of 200 milligram. Do you reckon you could do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So limit caffeine to 200 milligram. How will we measure this? Food diary.
Again, yeah.
Have you done a food diary before, Callum?
Yeah, I've done before.
Oh, perfect. And how is this achievable? Well, 200 milligram caffeine is, it's plenty. If you get a sufficient amount of sleep, like I just told you, if you
change up the sleep pattern,
you'll still get, an enhancement both cognitively and physically for performance. Right, so I put 200 milligram caffeine is enough to enhance performance. Yeah, both cognitively and physically. And then realistic, like I said, if you get better quality of sleep, the caffeine's going to be enough. So it'd be like, I put sufficient sleep. And then time, we want you to do that for 8 weeks consistently.
Yep.
If you'll be able to do it. I believe in you, Callum. I reckon you'll be able to do it. As long as you're getting enough sleep, but if you stay adherent, you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Still be able to do it. Because in terms of your, wanting to, you coming to me today, there's something called the transtheoretical model. And you're in the, because you already got a consistent routine, you're training 5 times a week, your diet is, majority of the time is on point, you're fluctuating between the maintenance stage and the action stage, because what's happening is, say Monday to Friday, you're consistent, but then on the weekend you're binge drinking. And would you say in terms of a nutritional standpoint, would you say the day after you're eating a lot of takeaways and stuff?
Yeah.
Depending on how hungover you are.
Yeah,
and that's causing you to go from the maintenance and relapse to the action stage from Monday. So rather than just being full maintenance, what you're doing is almost one step forward, one step back. So your maintenance, step forward, one step back, relapse, back to the action, square one on Monday, and then you keep doing this. But if you cut that out, then what you're doing is 2 step forwards constantly. Or even sometimes you could be 2 step forwards, 1 step back, but as long as you're making linear progress, you could still stay in the maintenance stage. But it's great because some people are in contemplation stage, preparation stage. Doing stages much earlier than you. You've only developed like quite a good regime. You've only just got certain barriers which could cause you to relapse. So it makes it more realistic for you to achieve these goals because you're already at quite a high stage of the trans-theoretical model. But anyway, so long term, almost there, Colin. Long term, you mentioned about your snack on food, right? Highly processed food, and this could be like quite an abundance.
Yeah.
So we could let's see, for 12 weeks for you to consume these highly processed foods before the gym, not at night. So consume junk food before gym. Yeah. And that way you're burning it off, like I just explained to you earlier on.
Yeah, I remember.
Measurable food diary.
Again, yeah, nice and easy.
Achievable. Externally motivated for Barcelona. You don't want to be going to Barcelona and being out of shape. Would you? No. No, you don't. You don't want that to happen. So because you got that end goal, you'll have to you'll be able to resist that temptation. So I put externally motivated for holiday. This is realistic because you get to consume the foods you enjoy whilst also achieving results. Some people think, for me to achieve that result, I have to completely cut out all these junk food. When no, it's all about the quantity of what you eat. As long as it's a small proportion of your diet. And I put that food. Can still enjoy food. Enjoy food and lose weight. Yeah. And achieve goals. And then time. See if you can maintain that for 12 weeks. So finally, the last thing, Callum. So there's something called a physical activity readiness questionnaire, also known as a PARQ. So the reason why we do this is because just to see if you've got any contraindications to exercise, which basically means if you say yes to any of these questions, it means you're vulnerable. Like if you partake in physical activity, you'll be vulnerable. Like either it could be like a health condition or it could be an injury, etc. So please answer yes or no to any of these questions. So first of all, first question, has your doctor ever said that you have a heart condition or that you should only do physical activity recommended by a doctor?
No.
No. Do you feel pain in your chest when you do physical activity?
No.
In the past month, have you had chest pain when you were not doing physical activity?
No.
Do you lose your balance because of dizziness or have you ever lose consciousness?
No.
Do you have a bone or joint problem, could be back, knee or hip, that could be made worse by changing your physical activity?
No.
Is your doctor currently prescribing drugs for your blood pressure or heart conditions?
No.
And final one, do you know any other reason why you should not do physical activity?
No.
Well, that's promising. Yeah, that is very promising. So, that's great. Obviously, you've passed. If you answered yes to any of them questions, I would have had to signpost you to a health professional, either your GP, it could be to a physiotherapist, even could be a psychologist, because a lot of people have got mental health issues. So I'm glad, straight clear from there. And so what we'll do is, we'll, next week, so from next Monday, we will start the personal training session. So you'll be excited for that?
Yeah, mega excited.
Yeah. And
make sure I don't drink that weekend.
Yeah,
be fresh.
Yeah, stay on the fruit shoots.
Yeah.
Gin and tonic.
Yeah.
You'll be able to, if I can do it, you can do it. And also we will schedule another program review date in 4 weeks, do it for your short-term SMART goals, both your nutritional and your physical. And we will review these in 4 weeks after the personal training sessions to see if you're on track. And and obviously when you are training with me, keep looking at the SMART goals we've discussed, and keep looking at as motivation, like, am I getting closer towards that goal? Am I getting closer towards that goal, you know? So we'll clear up from here, Callum, you know, I'm hungry.
Yeah. It's been very informative.
Very informative.
My head's a bit full.
Yeah. Don't worry.
To digest it.
Don't worry. I'll send you, you know, information. Any questions you got, I'm free to answer them all.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking forward to a next personal training session next week.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Callum, and I'll
problem.
see you next Monday.
See you then.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure.